Welcome to Karkom Cards and Comics. I'm Hearst.
Big Josh, what it do?
There it is. What's up? Hearst is here with Big Josh for another epic duel. This time we're bringing the swords. I was ill prepared. It looks like you're having fun. Yeah, this time we're each bringing a fighter that is known to be some sort of sword wielder, whether it's 1, 2, 4. What it do, you know?
What it do?
But, yeah, so I know not who he brings. He knows not who I bring. But we're going to try to fight it out. See who can actually take away the W this time.
I had a lot of fun trying to figure out who my character was going to be. At one point, I had my list up to 16 different fighters. Narrowing it down was tough, but I am very confident in my pick. And I think this is going to be fun no matter what. Like I said, this is probably the most fun this season I've had figuring out who my fighter's going to be.
Oh, really? Wow.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I had a blast too. Because, like, as soon as you start going down that rabbit hole, there's, like...
so many.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, especially in, like, the sword and sorcery genre. So, like, if you're bringing Conan or Beastmaster or all the way up to, like, Crystar,
you know? Just looking at all the fighters you can bring, like, immediately Star Wars, everyone with the lightsaber, like...
Yeah, and what swords can lightsabers not beat? So, like, yeah, obviously, that, when I said 4, that's who I thought of as Grievous with the 4 lightsabers and how, like, just cool that would be to bring him to, yeah. So, he was considered for me. There's a lot that I considered. Do you want to go into guesses for who I brought first, or?
Sure, yeah, let's just dive into this.
All right, let's see. So who'd you think I was going to bring today?
So, I thought right away, instantly, you would go the Star Wars route.
Okay.
So, I wrote down, I thought Mace Windu, General Grievous, Yoda. So those are the 3 I thought from the Star Wars universe.
So I also built a big list of characters that I considered bringing. Mace Windu and General Grievous were both on that list, but not Yoda. I didn't consider Yoda, just because Yoda is less of a sword fighter and more of a power user. So
you say that, but when he goes flippy all over the screen, like.
He still lost. So, like, the only people that he actually bested in sword fighting was people that didn't have a sword. Like the clones and all that.
Dooku?
I mean...
He beat Dooku.
Did he, though? Did he?
Yeah, well...
Because, I mean, maybe if he would have just let Anakin and Obi-Wan die, he would have beat him. But no, I think... Dooku actually came out on top of that. If you want to argue it.
So my other guesses that I have on here, I'm just going to name them off from least likely that you picked to who I think you probably went with.
I also considered Vader, though.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I was going to put Darth Maul on the list because I know you like him, but I don't consider his weapon a sword.
Yeah, it's really not.
So I didn't...
Until it was cut in half.
Yeah. But so I didn't put that on there. So, my asserter, because Sword of Surtur.
He's right here. I did consider him.
Blade.
He's right here. I considered him as well.
I ultimately went against Blade just because I don't think he's going to be powerful enough overall for you to go with him.
Okay. See, I really just tried to focus more on just sword capabilities over powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know that might have put me at a disadvantage a bit, but I went with no one from Marvel. So if you guessed anyone else at Marvel, That's not who I'm bringing.
Well, my last two guesses are not from Marvel.
Okay.
The first one I went with was, my second to most likely was Trunks
Oh, interesting.
from Dragon
okay.
Ball Z. And then my ultimate guess that I think he probably went with is He-Man.
Okay, I did consider He-Man, but no, I didn't bring him. So, yeah, I don't know who you brought either. So if that reveals, don't like flip it over or something. So
Nope.
I'm not okay. Because as soon as it's, I'm a page peeker. I'll be cheating. Or split screen. Yeah, I'll be screen peeking. All right, so I had quite a few that I considered. Jubei from Ninja Scroll. I thought about bringing him because his sword fighting is really awesome. But also just Swordsman from Marvel. I just thought about him because
He's
it's,
right here.
it's in the name.
Yep.
But like Conan, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, the Red Ranger. I did consider Red Ranger, Lion-O, Leonardo.
Ooh, I should have considered Lion-O because I know you're a big Thundercats guy.
Yeah, and the Sword of Omens is just so cool. Gore the God Butcher because of the trailer, so I thought maybe you'd go that route, or even Deadpool. But so no. All right. So yeah, do you want to reveal first, or
I'll reveal. I'm gonna name off some characters that I did consider that you didn't name off. The first one, I thought this was going to be my character right off. It was also the first person I thought of, which was Roronoa Zoro from One Piece.
Oh,
he's the master of the 3-sword technique. So he has 2 swords and one in his mouth.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he's like a super powerful, just swordsman, though. He doesn't have any actual powers.
Okay.
But I did have swordsman on my list. Black Knight.
Nice.
Deathstroke. Figured, going the ninja route.
I would feel like he's probably more guns than swords, though. But that's me.
Yeah. Guts.
I have no idea who Guts is.
He's an anime character. Just has this huge, huge sword. He's awesome.
Sephiroth.
And then Toshiro Hitsugaya from Bleach. Kenpachi from Bleach. And then the character I went with from Bleach. Genrusai Yamamoto.
Okay, so
he is head captain of the 13 Court Guard squads.
So this is about to be a manga anime fight.
Oh man, you went the manga route as well, huh?
I did. This character I first saw in a anime that was suggested to me by our good friend Cameron from the My Hero Academia universe.
Okay.
He's a guy called Hero Killer Stain.
Oh.
And he only has one power per se, but it's a good one. Of course, I had photos ready, and then I am not on them.
Oh, way to go.
Right. Okay, so this guy is Stain here. Kind of a crazy looking guy that has no nose. But,
the hero killer.
Yeah, so he does have, enhanced speed and enhanced strength, which I didn't know until after I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick this guy just because his main ability is that if he tastes your blood, you become paralyzed for a short time. And so he is basically a swordsman, but he'll use throwing stars and little daggers and things, or even a needle. And while he's in the midst of fighting, he'll just do a little prick and then just taste the blood, and then you just freeze. You can't move at all, and then he'll just take his time slowly dismembering you and kill you at his leisure. His big MO as a villain is just that he he wants to kill everyone that he deems as a fake hero, somebody that's in it not just for justice, but for some sort of selfish means, because in that universe, like, everybody has powers, essentially.
80%, I think, is what they say.
Yeah, something like that. So a lot of them, of course, use it for exploit to be wealthy or get endorsements or do whatever. So, yeah, he took it upon himself to
punish those who take advantage instead of putting it to good use.
and are unworthy.
Yeah. So, like, one of the few heroes that he actually looks up to is All Might, and the other one he actually respects is Deku. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and like it's weird that he respects them when essentially they're in Japan and All Might is Captain America and Superman, like in the one character.
Into one.
You know, so it's weird to think about in that aspect, I guess.
Yeah.
It brings a different dynamic to it.
So, all right, I'll talk a little bit about Head Captain Yamamoto. He's in the anime Bleach or in the manga Bleach, whichever you prefer. He is the number one of 13 captains in the 13 court guard squads. He's also the founder. He's over 3,000 years old. Mind you, everyone in the Soul Society where the 13 court guards take place are essentially already dead. They're souls that haven't moved on because they are protecting the souls to help the rest of them move on. So they're like in what's that called in when you're not quite in heaven but you're not in hell?
Limbo.
Yeah, there's another word for it I was thinking of, but you're in limbo. They help the souls move on, so they don't get eaten by hollows, which is basically like hell. So his sword name is Ryujin Jaka. And their swords in this anime have their own powers. Like, they have powers as well, but the swords have, like, his sword in particular has fire manipulation and fire control, as well as he can, like, form barriers with his fire, either to keep people out, but more often with him, he uses it to keep people trapped in, so they can't escape him, essentially. He's a master swordsman. He has mastered all kinds of other abilities. Let's see. His favorite sword strike, he has a name for it. It's called the Hitatsumi Nadagiri. It's basically a super fast sword strike. Like, you don't even get to see the blade move. It's so strong, like, he can cut buildings into two. He'll cut people in half, and they won't even realize it until the shift starts happening. And then, you know, like, they're still alive until that happens. That's how fast it is. He's a Keto master, which is basically like magic abilities. And in the show Bleach, they have to say, like, in a whole incantation to get these abilities out. The best way to describe it is, like, they have to say stupid, like, phrases. Like, if you've watched the 90s X-Men anime, like, anytime Storm uses her abilities, she's always like, the rains of heaven and the winds from the mountains sweep down and blah, you know, and they have to do some long thing just to use these magic abilities. He can do them without saying anything. He can just at will do them. But he's, like I said, he's been around for so long. He's a Shunpo master, which is basically like flash step. So basically what that is going to be like in Dragon Ball Z when the fighters fight and you see them, like, they move so fast, you just see, like, the black lines. That's how fast, essentially, that he is. He's a master at that. And he has immeasurable spirit power, which is how they, like, determine how strong everyone is by spirit power. So I have it, like, because since you don't watch Bleach, I have it, like, think DBZ and power levels. Like, they can sense other power levels and all that. And he's also able, just like the Dragon Ball Z characters, to either raise it or lower it or hide it completely. But
okay.
What he likes to do is have everyone thinks he has, like, no spirit pressure because he's like an old man. But then he, like, unleashes it and he really has more than almost anybody else. And it like freaks him out because of how such an increase in such a short amount of time. It's great.
Okay.
But that's not what we came here to talk about. We came here to talk about the swords, right? I haven't even started that yet.
Okay.
Their swords are called Zanpakuto. And they have multiple forms. Their Shikai form, which is when they first release their sword, it has like regular powers. Like that's how the sword shows its powers. So when he releases this first, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
So normally, like I think
learning a lot today.
Yeah, I showed it in the picture here. When you see the old man like when he's unassuming, the walking stick in that picture, that's actually his sword. Like that's the form it is when he's not using it.
Okay.
Now in that form, it does have powers or a power where like he can punch a hole through almost anything with it.
Okay.
But you rarely see him do that. But then once he pulls out his sword, like he always says a phrase, and it's always the same phrase every time he summons a sword. He says, "All things in the universe turn to ash," and then the sword's name, Ryujin Jaka. And when he pulls out, when the wood kind of like just like tears away, almost like paper mache when you put it in water or something, it just like peels away, revealing the actual sword, and then the whole entire sword is just fire.
Okay.
It's a huge fire blade. The fire's so hot that it can scorch the sky or the clouds even. And then it can do a bunch of different abilities, like create walls, like a tidal wave of flames. And the flames are so hot it just turns everything to ash if it comes into contact with it. Well, not everything, because obviously fighters that are strong enough can take hits from it. But if you're not strong enough or you have no spiritual pressure, you're just gonna be a pile of ash at the end of it. It can create pillars of fire with the intent to like surround you and then like kind of circle you into a certain area until it encloses on you. And it's been shown in the anime that he can make that about a city,
just like Fortnite
perimeter. Yeah, Fortnite.
But it just closes in.
Yeah,
forces you to.
So that's the Shikai form. So that's like the middle form. And then the sword and the old man work together when he summons his Bankai, which I'm going to throw a lot of long names out here at you real quick. The sword's name is Zanka no Tachi Higashi, which means the long sword of the remnant flame. Okay. And it has 4 abilities, and the first one being the East Rising Sun Edge, or Kyoku Jitsugen. The flames, he can concentrate the flames, or when it's in the Bankai form, all the heat and the flames are all focused in on one area of the sword, and then if anything even touches it, it's gone. It's just eviscerated. And then another ability.
My guy has a sword.
Is Zanjitsu Gokui, which means the West Remnant Prison Guard, and that's where he he takes on the heat as well of the sword, which is 15 million degrees, so making it impossible to touch him with anything because it'll melt or just turn to ash as soon as it touches him. And then probably my favorite name of everything is the Kakajuma Kushi Dai Sojin, which means the burial ranks of the 10 trillion fire dead. So
okay.
He can call forth the dead of anyone his sword has ever killed on his behalf, which is a lot of people considering he's been alive for over 3,000 years. And then the last ability is called the Techi Kaijin, which means the North Heaven and Earth end in ashes. And what this is like his basic sword slash, and because the sword's so hot and he's so hot, anything will just like turn to ash.
He looks very hot.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
So that's like the quickest rundown I can do for him. I know it was a lot. Like normally I have 1 page for anyone, but I got 3 pages.
This is our longest episode ever already. for the season. So you really were excited. You're like, I get to talk Bleach.
Yeah. So like, I love the anime. I'm rewatching it again right now because Hulu has like every season dubbed, and I know I would probably get a lot of hate for this.
Look at them abs.
I prefer dubbed anime over subbed because I want to watch the fight and be able to understand what's going on. I don't want to have to read it first and then go back and rewatch it. So yeah, that's my guy. He's a little strong.
He's a powerhouse.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. See, I thought you were gonna go the Star Wars route. Like I was pretty convinced, or the He-Man route, and because he's so freaking strong, I was like, I gotta bring some power to have a chance.
Yeah, like, and that was my thing. Is like, I really felt like just having a sword. I feel like it hinders a lot of powers.
Yeah.
So like, otherwise you wouldn't even like Trunks doesn't need to be carrying a sword.
No. Yeah, I think I think with Trunks, it is a hindrance because he's just more powerful without it.
Yeah, honestly,
But with Bleach, everyone works with their swords. They're like one and the same, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it, but yeah, just like because it's not something that I know.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even consider it,
Yeah.
So
well, I almost gave it away because when you came to my apartment yesterday, I was watching it.
Yeah, you were watching Bleach, but I know nothing about it. So what?
I hurried up and turned it off and turned on. I don't even remember what we.
Forged in Fire.
No, it was over. We picked something else.
Oh yeah, I don't know
I
because
don't remember.
yeah, because
Pawn Stars.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you were just like, oh yeah, well now that you're here, it's time for something.
Yeah, I was doing research.
Oh okay, yeah. I didn't even consider it. We see each other way too much to be suspect.
But that's why I went with someone like this because I thought you've been bringing the power all season.
Yeah,
like, even the fights where like I've brought super underpowered people, you've found like the most powerful versions that you could possibly bring for that fight. So I was like, and I know I said this in another video. I was like, I got to start bringing more power because you're bringing the heat.
Yeah, you definitely win this fight. I don't think that I can really do anything, just because of being one with the fire, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't get your blood, it's a really long, drawn-out fight. I mean, you were talking about keeping him in close quarters, and that's what Stain does, too. Mm-hmm. Stain likes to be on top of you when he fights because it just gives him more opportunity for blood. He wants to be as close to your blood as he can.
But when the needle's at 15 million degrees, it's going to be a liquid before it gets to me.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't see how I can extract any blood from you. My guy's sword looks all spiky and homemade and just made to scratch at any angle.
I mean, to be fair, like in the My Hero Academia universe, he's actually really powerful. Like he has a great quirk. But yeah, I just brought a different power scale this time.
Yeah, for sure. So I really thought with people that I put on my list though, like if he could really get blood from any of them, it's really like he has that type of edge.
And considering sword fights, blood's going to be a thing that's pretty prominent in one of those fights.
You would think. Yeah, so I mean, Surtur's weapon though I think is really cool too because like it matches the hand of whoever wields it.
Yeah.
So like Surtur is like this huge like monster. If you've seen Thor Ragnarok, he's the big guy at the end that destroys Asgard. But like in the comics he was like exiled for so long away from his weapon, and this giant sword was just like frozen in a mountain.
It was literally the mountain was encasing the sword.
Yeah, and then as soon as you grab or touch the handle, it just shrinks down to fit into the wielder's hand.
So what was the animated movie with Thor and Loki where they went and got the sword of
Surtur? What is that? Tales of Asgard.
Yeah.
Thor: Tales of Asgard. It's a great kind of movie if you're into animated.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, another thing about that movie that is just primo is they go to that ice world, and Loki's the only one that's you can't see his breath.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a really good
small
touch.
detail.
Yeah.
Like, just letting you know, like, oh, hey, by the way, this guy's the frost giant.
Yeah. Yeah, he's supposed to be here.
He's also the only one not cold.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like wearing furs and capes, and he's just like,
yeah, just so nonchalant about it. Yeah, so I guess I can't really say much other than Stain was a powerhouse in the anime that he's from, but a lot of it too came down to just being surprised by his abilities. So once like they figured out like what he was doing and why he was doing it, like why he needed your blood and how he was doing it, then they were able to beat him. But
I really think that they kind of cheated him in the anime a little bit, because he was really only in like 1.5 episodes, like featured, and then we haven't seen him since. Like, he's mentioned a lot because there's the other villain that like is basically the Stain knockoff, because he really looks up to Stain, and he even dresses the same, but it's not Stain. We want Stain.
Right, yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, so I gotta just give you that without much of a contest.
Namaste.
I just feel like we were on guard, and then I just slowly fell in half. But yeah, like Underworld, where it's just like, oh. And then you're just gone. But I guess I got nothing else to say other than I had a lot of fun doing the research. I just I don't like the fact that I just die instantly. But hey, there's next time. In our next fight, what we're bringing is capes. Anybody. We can bring anybody.
No capes.
As long as they capes.
Yes, capes?
Yes, capes. They have to have a cape, so I don't care if it's Doctor Strange or
One Punch Man. Oh, I already brought him.
Or Tuxedo Man from Sailor Moon.
I don't know.
I know you watch Sailor Moon, Steve. Or what about Lance?
Lance Bass?
No, from Pokemon.
Oh.
The best franchise ever, Pokemon?
Pretty sure Lance Bass has worn a cape or two in his time.
He probably has.
Maybe only a cape. Lance, we want pictures. Send them to him. Anyway, so you put together kind of like a small little game yourself recently. You
inspired by this.
And then you cracked open a game of Super Fight that you've had lying around for a while, and you're like, you know what? This needs to be bigger and a little simplified, but just as fun.
Yeah.
So let's give them a little taste of it.
I've been very slowly, developing what I call here Duels, the card game. I've just been buying blank cards and writing our own characters on it. Whoever and wherever. So I have G Girl from my Super Ex-Girlfriend, because she's super strong and crazy. So I have written on here tons of characters. Just tons. So I'm going to choose one out of here. It's going to be right from the middle here. This one. And then be my guest.
You know what? I'll go a little closer to the front here.
It's been shuffled. I don't know which cards are which. So I got somebody whose first appearance was in Raphael, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Volume 1, Number 1, from April 1985. I'm talking Casey Jones. This is Casey Jones.
The baseball player?
No. Cricket.
You got to know what a crumpet is to know about cricket.
Thank you for going there.
All right, so I went with
That's a habit.
I went with someone who's probably a little bit faster than Casey Jones.
Uh-oh. Is it the
blue ball himself, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, see Sonic the Hedgehog.
When would you ever
whose first appearance was in Rad Mobile
from 1991?
Who knew that the first appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog was not Sonic the Hedgehog? It's just,
not me.
Yeah, not me either. Until we were looking this stuff up for the card game. So who would win? Casey Jones
or Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we're not even going to discuss it on camera.
Yeah, we've been buying these like character encyclopedias, and this is a great use for them. So we use them for duels all the time to get ideas. The internet's a thing, but like sometimes it's just better to get visuals and randomness, and we've been putting these together to get these character lists built up, and got a nice little prototype going.
Yeah, I just thought it would be really fun. Maybe someday what I would do is actually like buy a printer that could just print on there, like do an image with all of the
with fair use
power
of
grid.
Course.
No, absolutely not. I'm not selling it. It's for me.
This is true.
So I don't care about that fair use. But so far, all of these characters are non-Marvel, non-DC.
Yeah.
Which I'm planning on expanding probably tenfold at this point to actually include all of the characters that I want to add from Marvel, DC, everywhere. It's just there's so many universes and so many different characters that know how to fight, can fight, would fight.
Yeah, maybe they don't know how to fight, but they've just got some type of power.
I have the Jolly Green Giant in here.
Ho ho ho!
And we
Green Giant.
And we did a battle with him the other day. Stephanie and I did, and he won. So it was like I've never even seen the Green Giant take an injury. Can he be injured?
I could beat him with a pan full of butter.
Yeah, well, you can try. All right, well. That's all that we have for today. Let us know who you think won out of Mr. Bleach himself or Stain. I think Bleach gets the stains out. But that's just me.
Just end it now, okay? The worst pun I've ever heard in my life.